Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Monday. And we're going to kick it off because we're going to have us a wonderful week this week. Are we? Yes, yes. All right. So, the topic for today is to be vulnerable. Now, what do I mean by that? So, to be vulnerable means that you're opening up. You open up your emotions. You opening up your thoughts, your perception. You're becoming an open book, okay? To somebody else, or even in this case, and what I'm talking about, to yourself. A lot of times we may tell the truth to other people, but we lie to ourselves, and our lies will end up eventually becoming our truths. So our truth will be based off of something that's not even real, something that's not even really happening. And so what I mean to be vulnerable is during those times when you're sitting down and you're meditating, or you're thinking about certain situations or events in your life, when you're really looking at that and trying to concentrate and focus on it, be truthful to yourself. If you are an open book to anybody, it should be you. Before anybody else can read the book, you're the one who has to write it. And what you write and put in that book needs to be the truth. It needs to be something that you face, something that you handle, something that you cope with, okay? And I know we have a lot of situations, and a lot of times we don't want to deal with those things that happen in our lives, especially those negative emotions. The joys we share all day long. We post on them, we take pictures of those, we talk about it. Anytime there's a joy or a happy, positive feeling, we share it with the world, right? And then we internalize it and it feels good to us. But when we get those negative emotions, they don't feel good. When it's us who did something negative to somebody else, or us who made a comment that maybe shouldn't have been made, or us that put ourselves in a situation, then we kind of shy away and we beat ourselves up for it. Instead of beating yourself up for it, be vulnerable to it. Open yourself up for it. Meditate on it. Like, why did I do this? What compelled me to do this? And how can I take control of that so I don't end up doing that again? So I don't end up saying those kind of things to somebody before. So that I learned to take a pause, a moment to reflect on myself before I say something to somebody else. And even to get to that point, you have to first sit down and be honest with yourself. Be honest with you and who you are, and what it was that you did. Because if you can't tell yourself the truth, then you're not going to tell anybody the truth. And so that's why I'm saying be vulnerable to you. And this can happen during meditation. You know, if it's something that happened or a comment that you made to somebody and you're fretting over and keep going over and playing it over and 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 over on this constant loop in your head, then that's the time when you sit down and you meditate on it. Process those emotions. Like I said on Friday, allow those emotions to come out. Was it Friday or Saturday? One of them. Allow those emotions to come through and process. Okay, so that you can allow them to be what they are. And then you can take a moment to focus. Okay, what are these emotions telling me? Like, why did I do what I did? Why did I say what I said? Okay, but have the emotions, process it. But in the beginning, again, be truthful to yourself. Okay, if anybody's going to be an open book to anybody, it should be you to yourself. Before anybody else gets to read it, you should be honest and have the truth written in your own book. Okay, because that's your perspective, your life, your truth. And that's what you need to do to get through your life in the most integrity filled way. Okay, closest to God, Creator, Jehovah, Jesus, whatever you want to name. Okay, to get the closest that you can to that energy, to that being, to that entity, to that ideal. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be vulnerable enough to be honest and admit that sometimes we just don't make the right choices. Sometimes we do things that aren't in the best interest of other people, aren't in the best interest of our own selves. We all screw up sometimes, but we take those screw ups and instead of internalizing and personalizing and really hiding it and switching it up and changing it to this and to where it's something other than what it was, just allow it to be what it is and be vulnerable to yourself to where you can open up to you and really admit what really happened so that you can process it and move past it so that you can become a better version of yourself. So be open and be vulnerable to yourself. And you can use meditation as a way of doing that, as a way of helping and coping with it, with whatever the situation is. So I really hope you got something out of it, out of this whole video today in this topic, because it's something that I myself had to go through a number of times in life. And really, when I got to the point where I was determined to stand on my own integrity and to be true to myself before I'm true to anybody else, be true to myself. Even when I do stuff like, why did you do that? Like when I was out of town, I can't remember what it was I did, but it was some, I didn't, I was doing it for other people. Like I didn't want somebody to see me doing this because it was, I would have felt embarrassed. But then when I thought about it, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I don't even think the person would even care. So why do I feel like this? Man, forget this. Let me just go on out here. And that was me taking a moment to find my truth on why it was I was even doing whatever it was I was doing that I can't remember. I just remember that incident happened. I remember taking a pause, like, oh, I can't do this because I don't want people to see. See what? So I went on and did it anyway. So that's what I'm saying. So when you get to the point where you honest with yourself and you can be vulnerable with yourself and you can laugh at the mistakes you made, you can laugh at the dumb stuff you do, and it makes you a better person because you're happier with yourself. So be vulnerable with yourself. Allow yourself to open that book and read exactly what's truly there instead of trying to make it up or hide it or put it away or whatever. Be vulnerable with yourself. So if you get anything out of this content, please like, subscribe, and share, because if you got something out of it, chances are someone else will as well. And it supports your girl. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.